And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Tornado Talk, where we talk all things Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Really happy you're able to be with us this evening. Exciting times around Brevard College Athletics as we head into postseason play for the men's and women's basketball teams. The women's team will be hosting a first-round matchup right here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, and the men's team will head to Pfeiffer. We'll break down what's coming up for those two squads shortly, as well as plenty of spring sport action. But before we get going, as we always do want to thank our sponsors of Brevard College Athletics. Really appreciate their support of the Tornadoes. Arby's, BSN Sports, eGolf Ford of Brevard, Hampton Inn, Ingles, Jets Pizza, Party Sports Medicine, Pepsi, Sully Steamers, Triangle Stop, and Young Transportation. And also want to give a special recognition to Party Sports Medicine and Southeastern Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the official healthcare provider for the BC Tornadoes. In addition to the outstanding quality of care provided by the orthopedic doctors, Party also offers care in the areas of oncology, cardiovascular, primary care, and several subspecialties. Party Sports Medicine, proud partners with Brevard College Athletics. Well, exciting times around here at Brevard College, and let's get started with the big news. Women's basketball will host a USA South Conference tournament game. That's tomorrow. We'll get into that shortly with Coach Hudson. And the reason why they had a big win over the weekend, 66-52 on the road at Salem. Great finish to the regular season there, the 66-52 victory on the road. And another postseason, or check that, a weekly honor coming through from the USA South, coming off that performance, as Olivia Miller was named USA South Women's Basketball Rookie of the Week, her third time winning such award. So congratulations to Olivia and the Tornadoes. And then tomorrow, 6 p.m., Tuesday at the Bosch, that USA South Conference first round game. Hope you can help us pack the Bosch. We've waived all admission charges. So, everyone in the community who wants to come on out and check out the Tornadoes, try to will them to victory in this first round matchup versus Methodist, we welcome you to the Boschmer Gymnasium. That's 6 o'clock tomorrow. Men's basketball also clinched a tournament berth. They'll be the number 5 seed in the USA South Conference men's basketball tournament. They will head to Pfeiffer. That's tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. for first round action. And coming off the weekend, KK Horton named USA South Men's Basketball Rookie of the Week. Second straight week he's earned that nod. So congratulations to KK. He's scheduled to be on the show later as well. Meanwhile, spring sports really got underway this past weekend in earnest. Men's and women's tennis with big wins in their season opener over Johnson and Wales. The women's team 9-0, a sweep over the Wildcats. Hannah Hirsch named USA South Player of the Week on the single side of things. And then in the double side of things, Allie Kogoy and Hirsch, the number 1 doubles team for the Tornadoes, win USA South Conference Double Team of the Week honors. Men's tennis, a 7-2 win over Johnson and Wales. Noah Lewis and Ethan McGee, USA South Doubles Team of the Week nod. And then the men's and women's tennis team will be back at the McCoy Tennis Complex this Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. We'll be out there bringing you the broadcast of that one as well. Come on out to the McCoy Tennis Complex and check out these tennis student athletes. Baseball, they dropped a couple games at Toccoa Falls on Saturday, but then had opening day at Gilcone Field on Sunday, a doubleheader sweep. The baseball team with a 4-2 win over Toccoa Falls in game 1. And then that was followed by a 7-4 win over the Screaming Eagles of Toccoa Falls in game 2. Connor Crosby, who was a guest on the show last week, was named USA South Rookie Pitcher of the Week. So congratulations to Connor and the Tornadoes. Meanwhile, baseball will have a busy weekend coming up. 5 games beginning Thursday, a 3-game series versus Northern Vermont Linden. They're making a trip from way up in Northern Vermont, and they'll take on the Tornadoes. Games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then a doubleheader once again on Sunday at Gilcone Field when the Tornadoes host Guilford. That begins at noon. Women's lacrosse, a wild affair on Sunday. Brevard wins 19-18 over Randolph. Parker Moore named USA South Women's Lacrosse Player of the Week. Congratulations to her and the Tornadoes for getting that season opening win. We'll be talking women's lacrosse later in the show. If you've noticed, we've mentioned a lot of USA South Conference weekly awards this week. Well, grand total of 8 Tornado student athletes garnered USA South weekly awards. Really just a fantastic week for the Tornadoes as those spring sports got underway and men's and women's basketball concluded their regular season. Other spring sports in action: men's lacrosse, BC 7, Randolph 3 in the season opener. So good win on the road there for the team under the direction of JD LeMay. Men's lacrosse played a game against Ferrum. They dropped that one on Sunday. They'll be back home for their home opener versus Spalding, 7 p.m. on Friday at Lamel Family Field. That's actually part of a doubleheader because the women's lacrosse team will be playing earlier at 4 p.m. on Friday at Lamel Family Field. So a chance to see both women's and men's lacrosse in a doubleheader versus Spalding on Friday. Softball headed to Agnes Scott for its season opener. They won game 1, lost game 2, and then they'll have their opening day at the Brevard College softball field this Saturday. Doubleheader begins at 1 o'clock against Johnson of Tennessee. So we'll circle back to the big story of the moment. The women's basketball team, number 3 seed in the USA South Conference tournament. They'll be hosting a USA South Conference tournament game tomorrow, coming off a great regular season, 15-9 overall, 12-6 in the USA South Conference. And then that big game versus Methodist tomorrow at the Bosch. And with that, we're going to invite in our first guest of the evening as we bring into the program head women's basketball coach Donald Hudson. Coach Hudson, thanks for joining the show.
What's up, Phil? Thanks for having me, man. Always great to be on.
Well, as you could probably tell from those highlights, what a time to be a Tornado. There's a lot happening here on campus, and women's basketball is such a big part of that. Coach, as I run through all those highlights, as someone who bleeds Tornado blue, that's got to bring a smile to your face.
Yeah, absolutely. As you were talking about it, I was thinking, like, what a week and a weekend for the college and the department as a whole, with men's and women's basketball advancing to the tournament and getting the spring sports cranked up and some wins and some good performances by some individuals. A good time to be a part of what we have going on right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it kind of, this week upcoming is another exciting one, of course, and it all begins tomorrow, 6 p.m. at the Bosch when the Tornadoes will face Methodist. Tornadoes clinch the number 3 seed in the USA South Conference tournament. Let's start with that, Coach. As far as just the significance of, once again, getting in the show, clinching the berth, and in this case, a number 3 seed in the conference tournament, the significance of that.
Yeah. It's like this time of year, Phil, it's like a lot can go on, a lot can happen in the last week of a season. You could see some seeding change. And we had some of that on our side in our conference this past weekend. But playing at home in front of our home crowd, I think that's going to get us off to a good start with this tournament. Hopefully we can play well, play a good brand of basketball. I feel like it's going to be an amazing atmosphere tomorrow. Looking forward to it. But a solid season overall. To come away number 3 in this conference right now, I feel pretty good about that. There's a lot of talented teams, a lot of talented individuals that play in this league, and our team is just as good. We dropped a few this year that we didn't feel great about. We also pulled off some nice wins this year. So right now we're feeling okay about ourselves going into tomorrow. Solid practice this morning. We're prepared. We've watched our film. We've gone over scout. We know exactly what we're looking for, but really looking forward to this atmosphere tomorrow in the Bosch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And just congrats once again, Coach, of making it to the USA South Conference tournament. Well, to propel yourself into that number 3 seed, one last piece of business, which was this road trip this past weekend to Winston-Salem, the Tornadoes getting the 66-52 win over Salem. Tell us about Saturday, Coach, and as far as, that, putting that exclamation point on the regular season, using that game as a momentum builder heading into the postseason.
That was the message going into the game, Phil. We need to play well today. We need to execute on both ends of the floor. We need to play a full 40-minute game to get a little bit of rhythm and to feel good about ourselves going into this first round of the tournament. And I thought into that Salem game, we got off to a solid start and a really, really good first half. Kind of eased up. I wouldn't say eased up a little bit. We stopped executing at the level that we were in the first half in the third quarter. We missed a few shots, gave up a few offensive rebounds, didn't execute our offense, turned it over a little bit too much in that third quarter. We kind of let them back into the game. I want to say it was a single-digit quarter for us. I think we may have scored 7 or 8 points. Wasn't a great quarter, but we kind of picked it up in the fourth. We're able to kind of go on our own run and put some distance between ourselves and Salem and get a nice road win heading into conference play.
Yeah, outstanding. And, you mentioned practice today and seems like everything's on all cylinders. Can you tell us a little bit about the matchup in specific against Methodist? At this point in the season, everybody's faced each other before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like going into this one, it'll be the third time that we've played this team. We've had some success against them. They've had some success against us. We know exactly what we're looking for. And I'm pretty sure they feel the same way. When you play a team this many times and especially like this quickly, like a quick turnaround. I feel like it was 2 weeks ago we were at their place and now they're coming to our place. And so they're going to be small adjustments, some small tweaks, some things we did a little differently this morning in practice. But for the most part, Phil, I think this game is going to come down to like little things, like boxing out, not turning the basketball over, things that aren't little. But you kind of pay attention to those things and take good shots, being able to get into our quality sets because each team is going to know what to expect. These girls have played each other 3 times this year. The matchups are probably going to be the same here and there. You may see a different matchup than you saw earlier in the year, but it's going to be a game where you just got to take care of the little things, execute your stuff, rebound the basketball and get quality stops, hit some timely shots. And I think we'll give ourselves a really good chance to win this game.
Yeah, you mentioned it, just 10 days in between the two last meetings between these teams, a 64-56 win by the Tornadoes on February the 11th in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And then they match up again tomorrow at the Bosch. Coach, the team now has experience in these situations. Had that big win at the Bosch in USA South Conference play, that's now part of the recent history, has gone on the road, in fact, and, in played conference games now. How much, does that, contribute to the feeling heading into tomorrow's big game versus Methodist?
It 100% matters, Phil. And the only way you get that experience and gain that knowledge is by getting tossed into the fire. And we had some of that last year with some of our younger players and some of our players on the team that were able to go in playing that Maryville game at home, a team that we had never had a ton of success with, and coming away with a big win, then traveling over to Berea that following weekend and coming up a little short. But just being in those moments, feel like knowing, okay, they're going to go on a run at some point. We have to stop it and counter it. We got to know when to slow that thing down, to pull it out. And now it's not the time to go one pass into a quick 3. Let's run some offense. Let's get the ball side to side, set some screens, get some movement, and hopefully get a quality shot. And I think having gone through that some last year, I think it's going to help us. Even with that said, we're still really young, man. We're still inexperienced, and some of the ones that we had last year got that look. But some of our freshmen and transfers that haven't been in that, they'll feel it tomorrow. And hopefully our leaders and our older players that have been around, more experienced players, can kind of help pull them through it and talk each other through certain things when we get to certain moments of the game tomorrow.
Yeah, great point. With this young club, there's plenty who are experiencing it the first time, but like you said, they can lean on the older, more experienced players. Well, you mentioned it early on, Coach, how the home court advantage. We talk about it, all the time, but now is when it really makes a huge difference and cranks up. Earning that 3 seed, getting the chance to play at home for this first round game, huge.
Absolutely. Over the last, I would say 2 or 3 years, we've typically played well at home. A lot happens there. I mean, we practice there every morning. We shoot in that building all the time. It may not look like it sometimes during the games. We go in our cold spells, but I feel good about us playing at home. It's just like a comfort thing. We know we got to come out with the proper effort and start the game the right way. And if we do that, like the crowd is going to be amazing. You can hear it when we're not playing well. They're always waiting to explode, waiting for us to hit a shot, waiting for us to go on a nice run, and so they can kind of get into the game. So I expect nothing less tomorrow, and having the Tornado Club behind us and parents and students, faculty, administration, everybody that supports the program. Tomorrow should be a big day. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, outstanding. Coach, before we bring in your players, just one last one, which is, once again, congratulations on earning this trip once again to the USA South Conference tournament. We can't wait to see you in action tomorrow. Love to just kind of hand it over to you as in terms of, the thanks I know you'd like to give to different folks who've contributed to this overall success.
Yeah. We'll start with, I'm going to give it my first thanks to the players. I probably don't give them enough. They think I hate them at times. But my players, man, I appreciate everything they bring. They come into practice, and it's not always the way I want it to be, but they're trying. They're trying to get everything done. They're trying to do the things that myself and Coach AB try to coach and preach to them. They're really trying, and you can see it showing up at times. So I want to shout the players out. I want to shout out my assistant. She's done a phenomenal job this year. Recruiting and scouting and just in game, in practice, on the floor. She's done a really good job. Like, she's the backbone of this team. She does a lot for the girls off the court. She's in the gym with them, working out when they need it. So a big thanks to Coach AB and the players and administration around campus, everybody that's there on game days for game day operations. I know it takes a lot to get a game off the ground, and everybody's pulling in the same direction and helping us put a good product on the floor. Our sports information department, you all do a phenomenal job, like everything that's broadcasting. And I feel like this game has been really, really publicized, and we really appreciate that. And to the supporters, the fans, and everybody that supports the program, parents, anybody that follows Brevard College women's basketball. I don't want to get into naming people. I may forget and leave somebody off, but I can't state it enough. We really appreciate you. And that's not just from me. That's from the team. That's from the squad. We really feel the energy of everything going on right now. And hopefully we can give you all a good show tomorrow.
Yeah, outstanding. We can't wait to check y'all out and to see NATO Nation turn out tomorrow at the Boschmer Gymnasium for this huge USA South Conference matchup versus Methodist. Coach, can you stick with us just a couple more moments here? We're going to bring in your two student athlete guests that we've efforted into the program here. McKenna Parkins and Lexi Shepard have entered the building. Coach, I'll hand it over to you one last time. If you can help introduce these two even further to NATO Nation. NATO Nation has met these two, knows them both, but we'd love to hear from your perspective just what they contribute to the program.
Yeah. And like you said, Phil, these two need no introduction. Their reputation, their character, their hard work, their work ethic, it kind of precedes them. The campus has been better for having them on it, not just our program. They've done phenomenal jobs, and they're pillars of what we have right now. They've done a lot since they've been here. Lexi Shepard, a sophomore from Somerville, and McKenna Parkins, a junior from Marion High School, McDowell High School in Marion, North Carolina. They both have done really, really good things for us. And I don't just want to limit them to being basketball players, though, Phil. These are two really, really high-character women right here that I really enjoy coaching. And I look forward to watching them grow over the next 2 and 3 years and seeing what the future holds for them after that. Basketball is just a small part of what these two do right here. Hopefully it's really big tomorrow. Looking forward for big production from these two tomorrow, but they're not just basketball players. They're phenomenal people, and I'm lucky to coach them.
Well said, Coach. Congrats once again on the berth in the USA South Conference tournament. We can't wait to see the Tornadoes in action under your helm tomorrow at the Bosch. And thanks for joining us this evening.
Yep. Man, can I get one more thing before I go?
Yep.
I want to say congratulations and good luck to all the spring sports. Like, congratulations on all the success this weekend, and good luck going into your seasons.
Appreciate that, Coach. Yeah, like you said, everybody in NATO Nation kind of pulling in one direction, which was just an awesome vibe we have here in the athletic department. Thanks again, Coach. We'll see you at the Bosch tomorrow.
Have a nice night.
All right, there he goes. And joined once again by McKenna Parkins and Lexi Shepard. McKenna, thanks for joining the program.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
And great to have once again Lexi Shepard with us. Lexi, how's it going?
Hey, it's good. How are you?
Doing great. Lexi, let's start with you. Career high 21 points with 8 boards at Salem. Tell us, how that game kind of worked itself out and, how you were sort of feeling obviously on your game at Salem.
Well, it really just kind of came to me. My teammates did a good job getting the ball to me and helped me create the space that I did and work outside in the gym and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Lexi, we talked a little bit about Coach, just, how important it was for you guys to perform well in that regular season finale at Salem. Can you talk about the team's mindset as far as, hey, it's important for us to finish this regular season strong and propel us into the postseason?
Yes. When preparing for Salem, we already knew in the back of our head that we needed this win to make sure we stayed in that third place spot. So we all locked in and trusted each other to come out with that win.
Yeah, and indeed the case. McKenna, could you add to that as far as, just the team's mentality, in Winston-Salem? Hey, you guys hit the road. You got one more here in this regular season and, a critical one on Saturday that you guys got the W.
Yeah, coaches really prepared us for that game over the weekend, and we pretty much knew what we had to do to get the win, and we got off the vans, and we just went in and got it done.
And now, McKenna, we head towards postseason play and, had a practice today. Tomorrow, it's really showtime at the Bosch. Can you tell us a little bit as far as the vibe within the team and, you all's feelings heading into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think everyone's excited. We have some of the players that's never really been in that position before, and then some of the older players that have and know what it's like to be on that court, the fans, the cheering, and just the atmosphere. And I think we're all ready to go play, get a win.
Yeah, Lexi, I see you nod in your head. Can you please add to that?
Yes, I agree with McKenna. We're all excited and ready to play a basketball game. Hopefully to advance to that second round. We're just really prepared and ready to go out and get that win tomorrow.
Yeah, outstanding. McKenna Parkins, the junior forward from Marion, North Carolina. We've had you on the show before, and we've heard your story and so forth. But would love to kind of put it in perspective. Hey, you've earned this trip to the USA South Conference tournament. You've earned a chance to play on the home court again, and I know that's important for you, McKenna, being from nearby Marion, North Carolina.
Yeah, you never know when it could be the last game, so you just have to make the most out of each experience and be grateful that you get to play every day.
Yeah, no doubt. And McKenna, am I correct? There's like a good little fan club that makes the trip from Marion on a regular basis.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, one more opportunity to play in front of them as well. Lexi Shepard, the sophomore guard from Summerville, South Carolina. Lexi, how important is that home court advantage to you? As far as the energy that it creates, when you're out there playing basketball on the Boschmer Gymnasium floor.
Yeah, playing at home is different. You got so many fans and supporters. A lot of the football team comes out and they, get behind us 100%. They're amped, they're ready for it, and it's just a different feeling when we're home.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Back to McKenna Parkins. McKenna, you've had another great season. You lead the team in points per game, 13.3. You also are the team's leading rebounder. And once again, getting it done in a lot of areas. I know you, McKenna, you're humble about such things. However, I'd love for you to talk about your season individually and have you been able to accomplish some of the goals? I know there's plenty more to come, but as far as your game goes, can you bring us inside the curtain a little there?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know really as much for individual goals. It's just to get better every day, be better than last year, be better than yesterday. But for team goals, I think we've hit most of those so far. We wanted to make playoffs, make second round, and really our overall goal is to get a ring this season. So we're working towards that.
Yeah, and certainly well on your way earning that 3 seed. And back to Lexi Shepard, again, you guys are hot right now. You had that big win on Saturday. Tell us a little bit about today as far as, the team's preparation, what you guys were up to in practice and, how you felt after that heading into tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Today was really about us making sure we knew our plays, putting a few different looks at it, making sure we got the same reps and we're all on the same page. Went through scout on both ends just to make sure, we're prepared for tomorrow in every way.
Outstanding. Well, before we let you go, do want you each to have the opportunity, as we always do. It's become a tradition here on Tornado Talk. Any shout outs or thank you? We'll call this, USA South Championship Tournament edition of shout outs and thank yous. McKenna Parkins, the floor is yours.
First, I just want to thank the Lord for giving me the ability to play at the next level, and my family, my coaches, and my teammates especially. We wouldn't be here without each other. So,
well said. Lexi Shepard, same opportunity to you. Shout outs or thank yous.
I want to start off thanking God. I want to thank my family, my grandma, my grandpa, my mom, my dad. I also want to shout out to Miss Kathy. She works in the caf. Love her. She always makes our sandwiches. And to our fans, supporters, and my coaches.
Awesome. I appreciate that shout out to Miss Kathy and the calf too. People kind of take little things like that for granted, like how important that is for it to fuel you all up, the Tornadoes as you guys continue to march on here in the women's basketball season. Lexi, Shepard, McKenna Parkins, congratulations to you both and the entire team. You're really making Brevard College proud, with this continued success in the women's basketball program. We can't wait to create a exciting atmosphere for you tomorrow at the Bosch, and best of luck. We'll see you at the Bosch tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
All right, there they go. And we're going to switch gears quickly here and head to the men's side as we'll bring in head men's basketball coach Lee Burgess. Coach, thanks for joining the program.
Absolutely. Glad to be here as always, Phil.
Well, what a time to be here as we head towards USA South Conference play, the Tornadoes clinching the number 5 seed. Coach, if we can start there as far as, clinching that spot in the tournament, just the culmination of all sorts of hard work throughout the season, key victories throughout the year as well to earn that spot, and just the significance of heading towards conference play.
Yeah, very proud of our group. We've battled a lot of stuff this year. Some stuff that's out of our control, some stuff that's within our control that we battled. And I think mid-January, looking at potentially getting the 5 seed would have been a stretch for us to think was doable. So just really proud of our guys for sticking with it. You mentioned winning some key games, on the road and at home, and putting ourselves in the position we're in. We're thankful to continue to be playing, and I think we've gotten a lot of things right, and still got some work to do, and still got some proving to do. But thankful we have that opportunity tomorrow.
Yeah, and Coach, you touched on it a little bit as far as how the team's evolved throughout the year. 3-2 here in the month of February, with one of the 2 losses coming against the number 1 team in the USA South, NC Wesleyan, in overtime. A stretch of 3 straight wins at one point. As far as playing your best basketball at the end of the year, it's a little bit of a cliche in college basketball, but gosh, is it the truth, as far as how important this month has been for the Tornadoes?
We've definitely gotten a lot of things right this month. We lost the game on Saturday. We're still in the tournament as the 5 seed. We lost the game on Saturday that we needed to do some things better. So I do think we're playing our best basketball of the year right now. But I don't think we're playing our best basketball, if that makes sense. And so hopefully we're playing our best basketball tomorrow. We still got some room for improvement there, but we have fought hard to put ourselves in the position we're in, and we needed to play better, and we have. And so by doing that, playing our best basketball to date, we've got ourselves an opportunity now where we can continue to improve, continue to get better, and hopefully that starts tomorrow.
You clinch the 5th seed. We get word on Saturday of how it's all going to work itself out. There was a lot of scenarios. Mike Christie from the conference office was typing diligently, to get all those straight. And you get the news that indeed you'll be heading to Pfeiffer. Can you take us from kind of that point on Saturday forward to where we're at today?
Yeah, so when our game ended against William Peace with the loss, the other games weren't over yet. So, my wrap-up conversation with the guys after the game was really, let's just wait and see how it goes. I hope this isn't the end of the road. We'll wait and see how it goes. And so as guys are cleaning up and getting dressed and, saying goodbye to their family, we get the word, we see the results, and, we're going to Pfeiffer. So, bus ride home, just a lot of talking with Coach Miles and myself just to get some things straight. We were off yesterday just to recover, and we have to have a day off a week. And so yesterday was that day, as we hopefully will be playing basketball every day the rest of this week. And we had a good prep day today. Watched film beforehand, got on the practice floor. I felt like it was an engaged group and an energized group, and felt like it was a good prep day. So we're one game at a time, as you well know, and we'll worry about later. But right now, all the focus is on Pfeiffer. So once we got that word we were in, I think everybody was relieved to know that it wasn't over, and excited to be part of the mix. There's a good number of college basketball teams that are not playing anymore, and we are. So we're thankful for that.
Right there, BC will be at Pfeiffer, 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday. USA South Conference first round action after the Tornadoes clinched that number 5 seed over the weekend. Coach, as far as this matchup at Pfeiffer, we talked to Coach Hudson a little bit about it as far as playing teams multiple times in the given season, learning each other's tendencies and so forth. Once again, Tornadoes and Pfeiffer going at it here tomorrow.
Yeah, Pfeiffer's beaten us twice. They smacked us pretty good here. And then first half at their place, we were down, I think 17 at the half, and came back and made it a game in the second half. So we can certainly build from some of that. But they have gotten the better of us for a large portion of the minutes that we played them. So, I do think that there have been some pretty significant things that we need to do better on our end that we've talked about and addressed. Some games you go in and you lose, and you feel like you did a lot of things right, just the other team played better. Pfeiffer certainly played well. They wouldn't win games against us by 29, 30 points. But I do think that there have been some very key things that we needed to do better that we've been able to hopefully address. But it's a talented team. They've got guys that can make threes. Beckwith and Rowe have hurt us from the arc. They've got guys that can go off the bounce, and they've hurt us around the basket. Number 2 for them, Culp is a really, really good player, and that we've had a hard time dealing with him around the basket. So we've talked about a lot of what we need to do better. I think we'll be excited to go play. I think Pfeiffer will be excited to go play. I don't think you're going to run into a situation where, one team is excited, the other team's not. One team's energized, the other team's not. And now I think it will be who's able to lock in mentally and execute their part of the game plan that they find most important to their success. So we certainly need to show up energized, more energized than what we've shown against them so far. I'm hoping that just the natural part of this time of the year will take care of that. But there's a mental component to locking in on the X's and O's that we've certainly got to be able to do as well.
Coach, you've got a blend of veterans and newcomers this year, as do most rosters. But, as far as heading into a next level stage here of postseason play, some of the players were part of last year's squad that headed to the tournament. As far as that goes, the experience of being in these situations, and also, sort of how, those older players might help the freshmen and so forth, who this is brand new for them.
Yeah, no, we do have a lot of guys that we're counting on this year that experienced this last year. And I do think that helps. I do think that matters and that helps. It's not something we specifically talked about, like, hey, let's rely on our experience here, to do this. I think that naturally happens. We do have some key guys that did not experience this last year. So, KK, who's going to be on the show later, was not part of that game last year. Jaden Carnes was not part of that game last year. So we've got some key contributors for this. Will be their first run through it. But we've got a lot of guys who have been through a conference tournament game before, and I do think that helps. I do think just from a nerve standpoint, they kind of know what to expect, know what that feeling is going to be like stepping on the floor, what that crowd is going to be like, when we get out there. And so I do think that hopefully will help us.
And similarly, Coach, a lot of the games this year have been tight down the stretch. And I'm looking at a few of the wins. At Methodist 77-72, at Southern Virginia 71-68, 74-72 over Greensboro at the Bosch. Then another tight one at home against Methodist. As far as that goes, poised down the stretch and closing out these tight games, critical once you get to the postseason. Correct?
I agree. Yes, I think it is. I mean, there's, when you get into the nature of this, there's supposed to not be a lot of separation between the teams, and so I think that the likelihood of tight games here is high, and we have been in a lot of them and have come out on the good end. There have been a few that we have not come out on the good end of, but we've come out on the good end of a lot of these close ones. So, I don't think a tight, if it comes down to it at the end, we will have definitely been there before. and should be able to draw on a lot of experience and certainly know what it is that we need to do to be successful in a tight game.
Coach, before we bring in your student athletes, do just want to give you the opportunity, as far as the big picture goes, what this means to the program to advance the USA South Conference play, but also, all the folks that help behind the scenes and, some visible, some not, that have contributed to this success.
Yeah, big picture wise, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to play in a conference tournament. I mean, it's a situation where not every team in the conference makes it, and so a conference tournament appearance is not guaranteed. We've been through the transition where we weren't eligible to do it, and the fact that we are eligible to do it and now are doing it, it is a big deal. We took a good step last year to make that happen, and another one here this year. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of people that work to make it possible. Nicole Harshbarger, RAT, is a big one, and she is definitely earning it right now. We've got some guys that are banged up that she's working hard to get right and get them able to go tomorrow. And we'll see how that goes. But she's done a really, really good job taking care of our guys this year through some bumps and bruises and sprains and strains. And we've had guys miss a little bit of time, but she's worked hard to minimize that as much as possible. So that's definitely been a big deal for us. Admin wise, we are very, very well supported in terms of putting operationally a good foot forward, where it's very little that I have to worry about in the course of a game day, which I'm very thankful for. I know that all I need to do is worry about showing up and coaching the team. I don't have to worry about anything else. And everything is taken care of on the admin side, which is great. We've got great people that we work with here, as you well know, Phil. It's a joy to come to work every day. And so rather than go through and list every single person, our admin team is fantastic. I will echo Lexi's assessment. Miss Kathy is awesome in the CAF as well. And so I'm glad she was able to get a shout out from Lexi, and I certainly want to echo that.
Outstanding. Coach Burgess, can you stick with us a minute or two longer? We're going to bring in your student athletes.
Yep.
All right, joining the program now, KK Horton and also Sly White. Coach, these two have been huge contributors all season long, down the stretch included. I'm going to hand it back to you to tell NATO Nation even more.
Yeah, so KK is fresh off of a new another Rookie of the Week award from the conference office. So he's gotten that award back-to-back weeks now. Sly got a Player of the Week award back in December from the conference office. So you're looking at two guys here who have earned some conference accolades, and deservedly so. These two guys really played well in our game on Saturday. Statistically contributed a lot of things. But emotionally, these guys contribute a lot as well. They're both high energy guys, both very, very good teammates in terms of rallying guys together, trying to keep guys together. And we're going to need that tomorrow. And so these guys do a lot statistically, did a lot on Saturday statistically, but emotionally, they're very valuable to the team as well. And we're certainly going to need that to be on 100 tomorrow. So thankful for these guys. And definitely looking forward to what they're able to do tomorrow.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, thankful for you for joining us this evening, and thanks for all a great regular season. We had a lot of fun, covering you all at the Bosch and on the road as well. And best of luck. Congratulations again on making the tournament. Best of luck tomorrow at Pfeiffer.
Great. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate it.
All right, there he goes, Coach Lee Burgess. And as he helped us introduce our two guests here, KK Horton, the sophomore guard from Asheville, North Carolina, just up the road. KK, how you doing? Hey, we'll continue to work on your audio there, I think, KK. But meanwhile, also joined by Sly White, part of the program here. Sly, welcome aboard.
Thank you. How are you?
Doing great. Well, junior forward from Raleigh, North Carolina. Sly, take us through Saturday a little bit. Coach talked about it a bit. You guys knew, a lot was up in the air as far as, the USA South Conference. The game ends and your regular season's over. Then you got to find out the news. How did that all kind of go down post-game?
Post-game, after the game, we were upset about the loss. but we were just seeing how our chances were going to turn out. Then once we found out the news, we were very excited that we were going to get another chance to hopefully push for a conference championship. But I think our main focus is getting back in, beating Pfeiffer again, having a chance to do that.
Yeah, and then tell us a little bit about these last couple of days since you got back from that road trip on Saturday, as far as you all locking in, preparing for Pfeiffer tomorrow.
I think the biggest thing when we came back, we knew that our bodies were pretty banged up because we know Saturday was a really physical game. So Sunday we rested up, and then today we came in with the focus that we know we have a tough opponent that beat us twice and we have a chance to beat them. And so we came with the right mindset today and practice hard, and then we're ready for tomorrow.
Joined now by KK Horton as well. KK, you got us loud and clear now?
Yes, sir. My bad. How you doing, Phil?
Hey, no problem. Great to have you with us. KK Horton joining us as well, the sophomore guard from Asheville, North Carolina. KK, same question I posed to Sly. It was kind of interesting, I would imagine, post-game, not the result you guys wanted at William Peace in terms of what happened on the court, but then you're kind of at the mercy of these other games going on around the league, and then you finally find out that you guys are in. Tell us, that sort of roller coaster of emotions on Saturday.
Yeah, we were all definitely upset about the game Saturday. We definitely wanted that win, but hearing that we still made the tournament, we were definitely happy about that because we get to keep proving ourselves.
Yeah, and KK Horton, as Coach mentioned, named earlier today USA South Conference Rookie of the Week, back-to-back Rookie of the Week honors. KK, we talked about the team playing the best basketball late in the season. You've certainly upped your game. Tell us how, things have kind of evolved for you to, come on strong here late.
Yeah, so it was slow, but I started figuring out, what my role was and how I can contribute to the team. Because early in the beginning of the year, I was really struggling with that. But now, with the help of my coaches, with the help of my teammates, I kind of found that spot where I can help the team out while still sharing the ball and stuff.
Yeah, and for sure, as it says there, USA South Rookie of the Week honor. You've scored in double figures in 9 of the last 13 games, so you got that going, and then also 6 or more rebounds in 9 of the last 10 games. So getting it done on the boards. You're a backcourt player, KK Horton. Tell us about your work, your dirty work down there on the glass.
Yeah, I definitely like to be down there and get the rebounds because I love pushing the ball and playing fast pace. So, and I just feel like I'm always at the right spot where the ball just comes to me.
Yeah, well, that certainly helps the batter, huh? But I guess there's actually a art to that. Can you tell us a little more about that, as far as be in the position where those balls actually come your direction?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the art, but it's just if I kind of figured out where if somebody shoots in the corner, I know to be on the other side of the rim because it's most likely to go off that side. Just little things like that, I figured out throughout my life playing basketball.
Very cool. Sly White, Coach mentioned you had a big game this past weekend at William Peace. Not the result the Tornadoes were looking for, but you certainly got it going offensively. 8 of 12 from the field, 17 points in this one. And, Sly, I know you've had a couple other big games offensively. Love to hear from you as far as your offensive game goes and, those days that you've got it clicking.
With those days, I don't force my shot. I just let the game come to me. Really thank my teammates because they find me at the right spots at the right time throughout the offense. So it's really thanks to them because I'm helping them get assists and they're looking out for me.
Yeah. One more, and this is something I love doing with you student athletes, because as folks can tell, you guys are pretty humble as far as, talking about yourself and so forth. But Sly, do us the favor, tell NATO Nation about this other guy on the screen right now, KK Horton. Tell us, what the deal is with this guy and what makes him such a great teammate and such a great player.
One thing I love about KK is his energy on both sides of the ball, him offensively, and then he gets everybody together. And then on the defensive end, when he's playing high intensity and he's talking loud, he's playing aggressive, it translates to all of us. So his energy carries a big thing to us as a team.
Yeah, and same opportunity for you, KK Horton. Tell us about Sly White. think we might have lost KK there, at least momentarily. So we'll try to get him back. We're going to give him that opportunity, Sly. So you just hang tight here. Meanwhile, we're going to go off the court for a second with Sly, because he's also a member of the SAC Executive Board, the junior forward from Raleigh, North Carolina, part of that Student Athlete Advisory Committee Executive Board. Sly, tell us about SAC, what you guys have been working on, and how meaningful it is for you to be a member of that executive board.
One thing we're working on SAC right now is a competition between the conferences called Pennies for a Purpose. So just any donations that anybody can take or give us. We have it at home events and around the town of Brevard. And then all that money that we get is going to be donated to the Boys and Girls Club of the street in Brevard.
Very good. Great job with that. And, you guys have just been doing a great job having a presence in different, parts of Brevard College and competing with the rest of the conference. How much is that a part of it as far as you guys like this? There was the cans across the conference, now Pennies for a Purpose. You guys using your competitive juices as student athletes, to try to win these battles, in community service.
Yeah, we really are. We're just trying to make sure you get everybody involved and also get the campus involved, because that's the big thing. The more we get the campus involved, the more that we will thrive as a school in the conference.
All right, we got KK Horton back with us. So KK, I was going to give you that opportunity to talk up Sly White, and for those of us who don't get to live every practice and every game with you in there and see what kind of exceptional student athlete he is, tell us about Sly. What makes him special?
Something about Sly that I love is he's that one teammate that's always gonna lift you up positively. When somebody's down, he's always there. You're good. Keep your head up. He's always bringing that positive energy that we really need. And I know how hard Sly works out of practice, in the gym, always in the weight room. He's always working hard. So he's just that he's a juggernaut. He just loves working hard, and he brings positive energy, and we need that.
Yeah,
I love playing with Sly.
Awesome stuff from both of you guys talking up your teammate there. Well, back to the business at hand. Tomorrow, you guys hit the road in the morning. You'll head to Pfeiffer. Huge game, of course, goes without saying, 7:30 p.m. at Pfeiffer USA South Conference Tournament. One team moves on, one team goes home. This is when, you lay it all out there. KK, we'll start with you. Tell us tomorrow, what the team's got to do to get that victory and to continue to move on in USA South Conference play.
I think for us to win, because we definitely have the talent, we just have to play hard and make shots and defend well. I think if we just get those little things right, we'll be good. Because like Coach Burgess said, they got the best of us here and there in the regular season. So now it's time to for us to get them back, and we can definitely do it.
Very good. Same question for you, Sly. What's the key tomorrow?
I think the biggest thing is, I feel like a lot of us know what's going into the game. I just feel like we don't need to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. Just let the game come to us and still have fun, but also be locked into our scout that our coaches set up, and then just play hard and play smart.
Well said. Yeah. Can't wait to see guys in action. We'll be tuning into that live stream when BC is at Pfeiffer, 7:30 on Tuesday. That's tomorrow night, USA South Conference first round. Congratulations to both you guys earning the spot in the USA South Conference. You're making Brevard College proud, and can't wait to see what happens tomorrow night and see you guys move on. Before we let you go, USA South Conference Championship Tournament edition of shout outs and thank yous. We'll hand it over to you first, KK.
I like to thank my family. I like to thank my teammates. I like to thank my coach, Coach Burgess, and definitely Miles, man. I'm thankful for Miles.
Very good. Well said. And Sly White, junior forward from Raleigh, North Carolina. Same opportunity to you, my friend.
I want to thank God, first of all, and then I want to thank all my supporters with my teammates, coaches, family, friends, my brothers back at home, and also my girlfriend. All of them are supporters. So I'm thankful for all of them.
Very good. And we're thankful for you two, your leadership within this Brevard College men's basketball program. Best of luck tomorrow at Pfeiffer. Tornadoes at Pfeiffer. USA South Conference men's basketball tournament gets going tomorrow. Sly White, KK Horton, great job. Best of luck tomorrow. Thanks for joining the program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So there they go. And we're going to quickly switch gears from the hardwood to the sport of women's lacrosse, and joined now by head coach Kristen Rosado. Coach Rosato, it's been too long.
Hi,
Thanks
Phil.
for joining us. Yeah, great to see you here on Tornado Talk. Well, we are coming off of one of the more remarkable lacrosse games I think, those of us who cover the sports here at Brevard College have ever witnessed. And you were right there on the sidelines coaching this one, a 19-18 battle royale against Randolph. And season opener, Tornado's able to get on the winning side of that result. Let's start there, Coach, as far as, yesterday's game goes and, how important it was to get off on a winning start to start this season.
Yeah, we knew that game was going to be a battle. I didn't know it was going to be that much of a battle. It was a close game last year when we played them at their place. It was a 20-15 game. And so this year, I think, we know the talent that we have on our team, and we tried to get those nerves out of them in the locker room. And I think we did. And we came out with a really hot start to the game. We scored 12 goals in the first half. I don't think our defense was completely up to our standards in that first half and allowed them to match our 12. And then just down the end, it was just an absolute battle, and trying to keep mentally into that game and not think, we can't come back. At one point we were down 3, and then we cut it to 2. And, and in the final 13 minutes of the game, we didn't allow them to score, which is huge. And it gave us an opportunity to come back slowly but surely. And then finally Parker making that big free position at the end to kind of seal it up for us. But it was definitely heart attack city. I was exhausted after that game.
Yeah, and as far as the sort of the endurance side of it, I mean, this is one of, as far as the actual clock, clock as far as hours and minutes elapse, as long of a game as I can recall in women's lacrosse.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long it was. It was a 3-hour game. Yeah, just crazy and trying to keep them, physically keep pushing themselves to get up and down that field. And also mentally, there were a lot of fouls. There were a lot of cards. Again, we were up, we were down. It was a back and forth game. Again, super proud of the girls. I think they deserved that win. They earned everything that we got that game, and, super, super proud. A lot to fix, a lot to be really proud of though early on.
Yeah. And as far as kind of, going out toward more of a bigger picture, finally getting this game under your belt, finally starting the season after all this time of practice and fall ball and all these things where you're preparing, seeing yourself out there, going against yourselves, then finally getting the season opener under your belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And our scrimmage was canceled on top of that, so we didn't even really have, a trial run to get it all out of us. It was show up on game day, here we go. And I think that we have great leadership, and especially on the field, some big time players, returners stepped up in a huge way. And then, they help bring confidence to the younger ones who played a massive role. Zan Hill, Paige, all these players are having to step in and contribute right away. Nicole on attack, and she's building her confidence and had some key plays for us. So, super proud of them. Again, we didn't have, that trial run to kind of work some things out. It was jump in, see how we do. And I think we responded pretty well.
Coach, you mentioned, the veteran presence. This is a huge senior class on this year's roster. I'd love for you to expound on that as far as just, how big of a deal that is, and maybe sort of the makeup of this particular senior class.
Yeah. This is a big class. Parker, Autumn, I'm going to forget someone, Grace, Josh, Meredith, probably forgetting one more.
Ashton.
Thank you. And she's going to kill me later for that. But yeah, it's a huge class, not only for what they bring to us on the field and, what they can produce for us on the offensive side, transition side of the ball and on the defense. But just, when we're in tough situations, they're just saying, keep going, and I think this year has been a real challenge. It's early on, but we're already dealing with some big injuries and having to keep that confidence and, that kind of mentality of hey, on to the next one. We got to keep going. We got to keep fighting. It's been big for us this year. So not ready for them to leave. Want to enjoy the season with them. I think we have so much talent on this team, and they're a big part of that. And we can do a lot of really, really great things. And I think our fans got to see a glimpse of that, this past Sunday.
Outstanding. And then, you've got a few days now to prepare for Spalding, who comes into town and is going to play a men's double header. 4:00, the women's lacrosse game goes off versus Spalding at Islamel Family Field. Before we get into Friday a little more, tell us about this week ahead for the team.
Yeah, so we practiced today, just nice and easy, just get them up, get them moving, little recovery session, and then we'll take the day off tomorrow, come out and support our women's basketball program. And then it's just working out the kinks, not trying to push them too hard, but, have that mentality of, like we have to have another hot start like we did on Sunday. So, keeping up the intensity while not, wearing out their legs and, getting them tired. But short week, so got to flip our game plan right away, get our scout in. This is a first-year program, so we don't actually have a lot of information on them, which is a little bit tricky. I was joking with Roy at practice today. We need to jump on Google and try to find their high school highlights. We really don't know anything about this team. So we're gonna try to control what we can and make sure that we fix some things on offense, get our defense kind of sorted out and ready to go for Friday.
Friday is a heck of a day here at NATO Nation. There's a baseball game in the afternoon. You've got women's lacrosse 4:00 on Friday, then the men's lacrosse game to follow with a 7:00 advertised start time. Coach, we've talked about it before a little bit, but what an opportunity for the fans to see both the women's lacrosse team play and then follow that with the men's lacrosse team. Two very different sports, even though you're both playing lacrosse, so many rules are different and so forth. But what an opportunity for the fans to come out and see both women's and men's in action on the same evening. Yeah,
this is a true doubleheader. And so I think both teams are in a really good place. I think Coach JD LeMay has done a really great job with the men's program. And so I know they're excited for this kind of doubleheader. We don't get a lot of them in the USA South. And I think the teams are really close. The coaching staffs are really close. We're really supportive of one another. And so I think it's, if you're a fan, come out. This is going to be a really great night of lacrosse. And if it's your first lacrosse game, come out. There's so much energy that's in every lacrosse game. That crazy game that we had this past Sunday is a 3-hour game, and fans were packed in there. It was loud. Baseball game was going on during that, and they kept talking about how much they could hear the crowd. They didn't know which way it was going. So, it's a really exciting sport. It's growing like crazy. So definitely come out and support us.
All right, Coach. Well, most folks, part of NATO Nation know you as the head women's lacrosse coach, but you're also senior woman administrator, assistant athletic director, part of the admin team at Brevard College, a role that you've taken on, this academic year for the first time. Tell us about those responsibilities, Coach, and also, how you're enjoying that side of the kind of the athletic department vibe.
Yeah, never a dull moment. That's what I would say. So assistant AD, I do game day operations, try to make sure everything runs smoothly, helping staff that with all of our work study that we have. Athletics, we have between 50 and 60 work study that we manage. Game contracts. I mean, you name it. I have a little bit of a role in every kind of little part of behind the scenes in the athletic department. I'll run a clock on lacrosse days, soccer. I'll jump on a scoreboard if I need to. I mean, it's a role where you just kind of are involved in everything, but I love it. I love Brevard. And so, I've worked a lot with you and trying to improve different things that we're doing with fan engagement and our tornado club. And I think it's been a really rewarding year. It's been, a lot of work, and times where, I'm a little bit stressed out trying to balance everything, but grateful for the opportunity. And, again, just have really enjoyed all the new opportunities this year.
Yeah, and one quick follow-up on that, Coach. You had the opportunity also in this role to go to the NCAA convention. We had Dr. Joshua Wilkie talking about it, along with our students who made the trip. I'd love to hear your reflections on that opportunity in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, so my experience was a little unique in that I stayed with the SAC reps from the conference. So we went to San Antonio. We had 2 SAC reps that have been on the show before, Jamarcus Walker and Kayla Murphy. And, it was really cool to see all the different athletes come together. And I really spent that time asking them what they do, like what's the differences, like what does your SAC do? What could we do? I took it as a big learning opportunity. It was great to see Stephanie Johnson, who is our old SWA assistant AD. I got to see her, get a big hug, and it's a huge networking thing. A lot of really cool guest speakers and award ceremonies. So getting to see Muffet McGraw up there, she gave a really passionate speech about commitment and, pushing the NCAA to make some changes. Definitely a very, very cool learning experience, and really cool to interact and get to know some of the different student athletes through the USA South.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, great work, with both hats on. It's not easy, especially now that women's lacrosse season's in full bloom as well. But we're grateful for you and can't wait to see the team in action on Friday. You can see some of your student athletes who are also, big helping hands here at the athletic department chime in there. But Coach, you able to stick with us a few moments longer? We're going to bring in a couple of your student athletes now. As joining the program here, we have Parker Moore, senior attacker out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Also Josh Mitchell, the senior defender out of Zebulon, North Carolina. Coach, we're going to hand it back over to you. Help NATO Nation get to know these outstanding student athletes even better.
All right. Well, I'll start with Parker. Parker is senior, USA South Player of the Week. So congratulations to her. Absolutely dominant in this past game. 8 goals, 3 assists, 11 points. I mean, huge. Not only from producing, but just being a leader on the offensive side for us. And I slowed the offense down tremendously the last couple possessions, and Parker kind of followed what I asked her to do, and she did it perfectly. And we had some great opportunities because of it. And then switching over to Josh, I don't know what Josh did in the second half at halftime, but it worked. Josh was all over the place in the second half, and a big reason that I think defense kind of settled down and kind of got into the groove of it, and helped make 3 massive stops in that last minute of the game. So really proud of both of these.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, congrats on getting that season opening win. I know it was a roller coaster, but the Tornadoes end up defeating Randolph 19-18. Congrats on that. We can't wait to see you in action on Friday at Islamel Family Field.
Thanks, Phil.
All right, there she goes, Coach Kristen Rosado, and she helped us introduce these two in that bottom location. Josh Mitchell, the senior defender. Josh, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Hey, great to have you. And also with us, Parker Moore, senior attacker. So 2 of the seniors in this big senior class we have here. Parker, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Parker. Well, we have you just, moments away from some accolades. USA South Conference, Player of the Week award coming through after your big weekend. There it is right there. What a day you had. 8 goals, 3 assists to lead the way. And then also that game-winning goal with just 1 minute, 28 seconds left on the clock to get that 19-18 win. Parker, tell us about Sunday, your performance individually, and just this wild ride the team was on, but you guys got the W.
Individually, I was honestly really surprised with myself because before this year I had been playing attack and they just moved me to midfield. So I was not expecting to be able to keep up with everyone. So it is a new position for me and I was struggling, but thankfully, like Nicole and some other people were able to help me out. As a team, I thought we really came together when we needed to. Like the first half, defense was really struggling, but then in the second half, they were able to get it together, and we all were just like motivating each other because it was just so close and so nerve-wracking, but we were there when it counted.
Yeah, and Josh Mitchell, a big part of this victory as well. Coach mentioned it a little bit, this big second half, and you guys just locking down Randolph down the stretch, making it very difficult for them. A couple of key stops down the stretch to preserve this victory. Tell us about it, Josh, on the defensive side, what that day was like.
Defensively, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. But Coach like Riz said in the beginning, it was a struggle. But like second half, we locked in and we were like, "Hey, just communicate. We got this. Hold tight. Don't let them get through." And we did it.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Riz also about the time of game. This is long, and I was over at baseball. Our buddy Joseph Marvin was running the show up in the press box at the Lacrosse game, and I kept on looking at my watch. Is that game still going on? It started at 11 a.m. From the player perspective, Josh, that's not easy to keep focused and also just keep your body, in shape to be able to last that long. Tell us about the endurance of this marathon that you experienced on Sunday.
Well, running up and down the ice field is honestly a challenge, and sprinting for almost 3 hours constantly has its challenges. Luckily, we had some timeouts, and like after every goal, we got together and like we talked about it, we debriefed, and like during those moments, we like got to like breathe and like slow our bodies back down. So that did help in the endurance factor. But as like for like the building part, Riz, we do a lot of practice with endurance, so that did help in the game.
Yeah, and Josh, come that fourth quarter, when things matter most, and you guys had to really, lock down. That's when all the hard work during the offseason had to pay off. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys came up big when it mattered. Parker, same question for you in terms of the endurance side. And as far as playing your best lacrosse in that final quarter, when to able to take that win. What was the key for you guys actually being able to make that happen?
I think it was the speech our coach gave us, honestly. She just basically told us to get it together, stop being lazy. There's 7 minutes left, and just get over ourselves 7 minutes, and then you're done. And I think that really helped us a lot.
So that was during one of the timeouts, Coach Rosato?
Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
Awesome. Yeah, really, really great stuff. You're kind of taking me right there in the huddle with you all. And Parker Moore ends up winning USA South Conference Player of the Week awards. Parker, as far as just, the fact that you guys finally have this game under your belt, a win under your belt, but the season's finally here. You guys have been waiting for this. It seems like forever, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how does that feel as far as finally, having it underway and not having to just like practice yet again? It feels good to be playing games, right?
Yes, it's definitely nice to actually have something to look forward to because, during fall ball, we were just kind of practicing, playing. We had a fall ball tournament, but it wasn't like super serious. But knowing this is game, this is conference, and we actually like have a chance to make playoffs this year makes it all more serious. And it's just been really exciting. A good last year.
Awesome. Parker, let's stick with you, senior midfielder from Raleigh, North Carolina. Tell us a little bit about your history and your upbringing as a lacrosse player. When did you start playing the sport? When did it become serious? And how did you make your way to Brevard College ultimately?
So I started my freshman year of high school, and I had never even heard of lacrosse before. So my buddy was like, "Hey, come join the team." And I did because they were taking anybody and everybody. And I really enjoyed my coaches there. They really helped me a lot. And then I started playing club that year. So I was playing lacrosse like 6 days a week, all the time during the summer. And then I went to a different school my freshman year of college, and that didn't really work out. So I talked to my buddy Ashton, and she was able to recruit me over to Brevard. And it's been a great decision ever since.
Awesome. Outstanding. Yeah, we're thrilled to have you here. And, now that you're a senior, Parker, what does that mean for you and your fellow seniors as far as like, hey, this is when it matters most, right? That, you know, it's here, your senior year.
I think it just brings, more passion to us. It's our last year. We got to give it everything we've got. So we are putting our heart and soul into everything.
Yeah, well said. Josh Mitcher, the senior defender from Zebulon, North Carolina. Josh, same question for you. Tell us about your, lacrosse upbringing and, when you finally caught on to this, what was a fairly, new sport in a lot of places.
So for me, I had never heard of lacrosse, but I actually started my sophomore year of college when I got here because my roommate at the time was like, hey, they're taking anybody that need numbers. And I was like, okay, I like things. I like trying new things. So I was, you know what, let's try it. It can't be that bad. Tried it when I first started, I was terrible, but I've grown and honestly, the program has stuck on me. Like I've made so many friends. I've made so many new connections that I honestly never would have thought I would make. But like thanks to lacrosse and like the community that it builds, I've just learned so much in like my past 3 years now playing.
Outstanding. Yeah. And Josh, for you to, kind of figure out the sport in that short amount of time, couldn't have been easy. Tell us a little bit more about that process as far as, there's a lot of rules to know, not to mention just, the equipment and the techniques.
Yes. So when I first started, we were doing COVID. It was like during COVID time still. So we didn't have that many games, but picking it up, I had Casey, I had Nia, and they were big helps in like, hey, this is how you catch, this is how you throw. Yes, it's a lot. And no, you can't hit somebody, Josh. That's not allowed, Josh. You can't hit people. So it is a lot to pick up. There are so many rules that I wasn't prepared for, but having those people help me and like show me the way of, hey, this is how you actually defend. This is how you catch. This is how you throw. You need to work on wall ball. You need to do this, and this to get better. And listening to those like advices has helped me like grow to where I am today. And I'm very appreciative.
And now here you are, your senior year, senior defender, part of this outstanding senior class. Same question I had for Parker, as far as the significance of this being your senior year, how does that feel?
It feels different. Before when I first joined, I didn't think I was going to stick with it, but now I stuck with it and I'm like, wow, it's like my last first game, or it's like my last first this. And it's just like a lot of moments of last first for me. And it's like hitting me hard. And like, so like during game days, I might not show up, but I'm actually like super emotional because I'm like, oh, next year, I'm not going to do this. What am I going to do next year? Like, it's just like, I'm cherishing every moment that I get with the team.
Very cool. And let's take it in the classroom. Josh, tell us a little bit what you're working on academically, what degree you're pursuing.
So I am pursuing a degree in biology with a minor in health science. With that, I currently hope to do something in the medical field, either dentistry or most likely dentistry, knowing me. And that's where I'm at right now.
Outstanding. And Parker, same question for you. Tell us what you've been working on in the classroom.
I'm a business administration major with a minor in history. And right now I'm just trying to get through my modern Russia history class. That's really kicking my butt right now.
Wow. Well, as a former, as a history major myself in undergrad, I don't think I ever took on modern Russian history, but that sounds like a doozy. Yeah, but congratulations to both of you all, well on your way to, getting your diploma here from Brevard College as well. But, meanwhile, we got a lot more lacrosse to play. We got this first game in the books, but this Friday, the Tornadoes will be at home once again. Tell us about this week ahead, what you all are focused on working on as a team. Parker, get us started as far as preparing for this next game.
Like Riz said, we don't know a lot about Spalding, but, these first-year teams can come out really well. So we're working a lot on defense this week, just making sure we can communicate and getting midfield and defense to really, combine and get on the same page because we were a little, distant during the Randolph game. But just kind of taking it easier, still working on those plays, still working on the defense, and making sure the draw is still good.
Outstanding. And Josh, it's meaningful to play here at Lamel Family Field. And you've only got so many of these opportunities. Before you know it, you're going to be on a road trip somewhere, but playing in front of the home crowd, playing in the familiar confines of the on the turf and, at the, stadium that you're used to. How important is that, to take advantage of these home field opportunities?
It's so important because all of our supporters are mostly students, or like my friends come out, I hear them yelling for me every game, and honestly that motivates me to run faster, to pick up all the ground balls, to do honestly any and everything, because like I hear them saying Josh, and like that gets me through it. And like I will miss having that on the road, so like having it at home and like makes you just like want the win more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Just a couple more before we let you go, and I really appreciate you guys both being on here. Josh, back to Brevard College and this, special place that we get to, hang out with, all the time here in the mountains of Western North Carolina. If you were to talk to a high school prospect who might be considering coming here to either just be a student or perhaps play on the women's lacrosse team, what would be some of the things you would tell them as far as, what makes Brevard College special and what's made your experience so special?
I would tell them that Brevard College is a very unique place. And by that, I mean, all the class sizes are so small. Everything is hands-on. The teachers know you, like they know your name. Like there have been multiple times where I've been like walking by and like my advisor would come and be like, have a whole conversation, just not even about class stuff, but stuff like about my life and stuff. So Brevard College is like that special school because you make connections not only with your professors because they're your professors, but you have those connections outside of school. And like you're not just a number, you're literally a name. They know you, they want to get to know you, and they help in any way they possibly can. And their help goes a long way.
Yeah, and Parker, same opportunity for you. You mentioned how, happy you were with this choice to make it to Brevard College. Tell us even more, what makes Brevard so special.
I just really love the area. I mean, I love being outside. I love the nature, and it's really gorgeous during the wintertime. I love snow. And we've got Pisgah Forest right there. So you can just drive up, watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. And it's just a really gorgeous area. There's so much to do here.
Yeah, it goes without saying. We're blessed to be here in this part of the country and here at Brevard College. Well, before I let the two of you go, you guys know the drill. It's a tradition here at Tornado Talk. Shout outs and thank yous. Anyone who may have helped you along the way, anybody who might be tuning into the program at some point, or just someone you want to say what's up to. The floor is yours, Josh Mitchell.
Oh, cool. I want to say a big thank you and a big shout out to my defense. Thank you, Cass, Grace, Elise, and Lex. With like all of us, defense working as a unit is the best thing ever. And when we communicate, we're really unstoppable. And those defense made some great saves. I also want to thank my dad because I do everything for that man, and I love that man to death.
Awesome.
My biggest supporter.
Any more you want to squeeze in there, Josh? Or you good?
Royale Tomasabi. Love that lady.
There you go. Your assistant coach, and also helping us behind the scenes with sports information, Royale Tomasabi. Well done. Parker Moore, same opportunity for you, the senior midfielder from Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout outs or thank yous?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to my draw dog, Emily, my key offensive players, Savannah and Zan, Nicole, all of them. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad and my buddies, Ashlyn and Emma, just all my friends and family.
All right, hold on. I can't let you go too quick here because I heard something that we need to explain to NATO Nation. What and who and what's up with a draw dog?
The draw. I don't really remember how the nickname came about, but Emily and I, we dominate the draw. Like I get it to her, she gets it, she goes down the field, and so we just kind of got nicknamed the Draw Dogs. There
it is right there. And there's your fellow draw dog, even with the dog emoji, Emily Denego. Well done. Well, Parker Moore, Josh Mitchell, it's been a lot of fun to speak with y'all here on Tornado Talk. Congrats again on that win. What an adventure on Sunday, that the big season opening win for you all. And I can't wait to see you in action on Friday at Eyes Lamel Family Field. Parker Moore, Josh Mitchell, thanks for joining the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and there they go. And thank you, NATO Nation, for joining us for another edition of Tornado Talk. It was a lot of fun. Big week here at Brevard College. Men's and women's basketball both heading towards the USA South Conference Tournament. First round action tomorrow. Women's here at the Bosch, 6 o'clock Tuesday, USA South Conference first round game. Hope to see you there in person. If not, we'll be bringing it to you on the YouTube channel. Then best of luck to the men as well, who head to Pfeiffer for their first round matchup. I want to thank all of our guests from the men's basketball program, women's basketball program, and the women's lacrosse program. Go to bctornadoes.com for all the schedules, news, stats, and information, and be sure to follow the Tornadoes on social media as well. Big thank you to Roya Tomasabi for pushing all the buttons behind the scenes, and also Emily Denega and Cassidy Hutto helping us as well. That'll just about do it for another edition of Tornado Talk. Glad you're able to join us as well. Thank you for all the support. Go Tornadoes.